Okay, call to order at 6:12. All right, everyone's got a copy of the minutes. Please review and let me know if there's any corrections.
I don't think that's what we're working on.
It's a DD 214. Brian, our old assessment clerk, I didn't realize that she was in the service. It's awesome.
Any corrections and have a chance? Okay, you keep reading. Go ahead.
I don't see any. I'll make a motion.
I saw Mike writing something.
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay, no, I saw you.
I'm good. No issues.
I'll
Okay.
make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
It's been really beneficial coming to all these meetings and seeing how they do all like the procedures. I got elected the president of the Carroll County Chiefs of Police Association.
Oh, so,
I took it regretfully, but now I get to run all the meetings once a month, so.
oh, so you get to have
I
fun.
thought you were gonna say that you were gonna run,
A
you
little
were running for selection.
Just open
Sit on the board with your father.
Except for-
I got bully voted
that's
in the last meeting.
You going over there now?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say hi.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward.
How
long now?
That's right. Yeah, we're there, but if you.
Yeah, all right.
Tyler is making us copies of some of the
Our very first.
very first
Oh, the first building.
designs,
Okay.
probably pre this committee being formed. Obviously, there would be some changes that would have to be done on it. The original ones
That
had
was
some things that were
that was the one that was fire police only.
fire police in Station 2, renovating, totally renovating
Okay.
Station 2. And then putting up a building
What are you doing
strictly
here?
for equipment.
But completely sidestepping. land
Sidestepping
use
this,
and all,
this,
okay.
this would then just be, what was on that? Just nothing,
A year? Oh,
yeah,
just a meeting room.
yeah, just the meeting.
I thought you knew when you said,
Just one
oh,
room.
No, I was thinking that you had to get down the road. Oh, yeah.
oh, you already told him, so I didn't know if it was like, he was, but now
There's
it's
3 pages?
me and she now.
Yeah, she-
He.
Right.
But he wasn't either.
He's not a DD, so it's not really
Did you run enough? Did we run enough or no?
I have no idea. Okay, okay.
Okay.
No,
So it's, you know where I'm going with that?
no.
I don't know if he was,
Excuse me.
but he identified it as she now. So she's not on the lead is what they're
She's
saying.
never been a.
Okay.
I'll never put it.
That was good. Okay, so, on these here plans, these were the very first ones. We know that there has to be some changes on them.
Yes.
Before we even start, let me just say my goal at this, since we have pushed this whole thing to 2027, my goal is that by March, I would like to have the committee decide on which building, which ones, have it completely decided on, put out for estimates, so we know where we're going at that point. I don't wanna keep prolonging this like unfortunately we were doing in the past, is because we were doing some changes here, every week we were changing. I would like to see us by March, and now we will be meeting right after the Board of Selectmen meeting. It's not gonna be every week, it's gonna be every other week. So we have to really work very quickly on what we're going to do and have a definitive building in mind. It doesn't matter which type, but a definite building so that we can move forward get estimates and know where we're going and have everything in line for the, bond hearings and everything else. So, that being said,
So regardless of how we're gonna decide that stuff, does anybody else feel that we should be hiring somebody to lead us?
we definitely, I think, need a, what is it called?
General contract.
General contractor who is keeping track of everything.
Right. I think that'll eliminate some of the, what if this, what if that, somebody with that experience to kind of answer those questions on the spot. Mike, what are your,
You said general contractor,
Used a different term earlier in our,
project manager,
or
Project manager,
yeah.
yes.
that's what you need.
distinction being that project manager could pick and choose vendors versus a
Pick and
GC.
choose vendors, so a couple ways of doing it is you can hire, okay, let's use Patco for an example. They're a general contractor. They're gonna bring in their subs, you're gonna pay their markup, and you're gonna pay the markup on the general contractor for reasonable profit and overhead. Whereas a project manager works and negotiates with all the subcontractors, they're gonna make their profit. Usually the project manager works in on a percentage fee for the job, or a set fee for the project. It may be a percentage of the value, the overall value, but that can be established ahead of time through negotiating with the project manager. So it becomes the project manager's responsibility to bring everything to the table here for review and say, look, this is what I've got. What the flying ointment in all of that is the town's procurement document that says you need 3 bids of this and 3 bids of that. Project manager's gonna come in, we'll go backwards to last town meeting. When I put the whole estimate together, if I managed that project, I would come to you and say, this is it, this is what I've got. I don't have 3 of this and 3 of that, I get the best of what I've got and this is the price, with a contingency that was built into that to work within your budget. So, at this juncture, I don't know what I would recommend to do unless the committee becomes the project manager and we're soliciting a minimum of 3 plumbing bids, 3 HVAC bids, insulation, blah, blah, blah.
Could you
I think
Just my
there's-
opinion, but I don't think we have the time, first of all, and to point the experience, second, for the
Correct.
committee to do that. I mean, obviously, it didn't work last year,
Yep,
didn't work
Right.
really the year before that, in totality.
Yep.
So, I mean,
you have a real
it's-
number,
right, we did have a real number, that was the
Real
furthest we
backup.
ever got.
you had everything all backed up.
Can we split the function? I don't know what the title would be, but somebody to basically come up with lock down all the parameters we want.
Yeah, it's a bit of work.
Submit it,
Yep.
pay that person for that function. Go tender your 3 RFPs and see what you get, and then,
If you can get it.
right, and then reappoint that project manager once you decide on a specific project you're gonna go to?
Yep.
Or is that kinda like double dipping and,
No, not really. No, I think I just don't know who I would pick to do that. It's a project management company. Usually an architectural firm will do that. If you hire an architect, they'll project manage that. I don't know if the town hall renovation project, when Chris Williams was involved in the get-go, if he did administrative work based out of that, or who did that.
That was Chris Williams.
That was Chris Williams, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that came at as a reasonable fee.
Well, it was expensive.
Yeah, but not just pointing at him.
Yeah, I understand.
That route is expensive.
Yeah.
That route is expensive.
I don't know how we're gonna pay for this. Cause last week, the $300,000 that we wanted to put in for a warrant.
Professional services.
Professional server. You wanna pay him, you're saying?
Well, again, last year, that's what happened with the budget, it got increased on the floor to pay for professional services.
Right.
And, I mean, we did level fund that
Right,
this year back to 10 from 26,
right.
to Rose's point earlier. Or it's,
We'll have to raise that.
like I said, so at the budget meeting, I made a motion as a selectman based on the fact that we don't have the bottom line profit for the land sale, even still. I didn't feel that we could commit to the $300,000 to remove from unreserved fund balance to create an ETF for this purpose. It's not too late. It is too late for the 300,000, because I made a motion for not for that. But that isn't to say that we couldn't prepare something for $50,000 or less, as we were having a discussion earlier, to get ready for town meeting, with it to come from unreserved fund balance. Cause we could confidently say that we're gonna get at least $50,000. I just didn't wanna have us committed to 300,000 and then we only got 280. And then we're taking an additional.
So that's not cast in stone at this point.
It's not cast in stone, so, and that day, it just so happens, that we got an email from our administrator that said that, the 30-day window was closing on the 14th. It still wasn't finalized to the point where the highest paid one, the 280, where we're gonna get a large portion of that was PK. They're closing, she said, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or this
well,
week?
yeah.
Well, it still isn't closed, so it's like, okay, we still
Yeah.
don't have a
Yeah, you
confirmed
haven't got it till
number.
you got it.
So I didn't, so that's why I made the motion and it passed, 2-1. But that's not to say that we couldn't present, as long as it's not coming from taxation, as long as it's coming from unreserved fund balance, from the sale of the. So maybe we can do, a lesser amount. I didn't feel confident with the 300,000.
Okay,
So-
I agree with
Talking
you.
I agree with that.
I'm perusing the procurement policy as we're talking, and it sounds, reading between the lines, we put an RFP out for the project manager. We pick the project manager based on the RFP process. That project manager can then come forward with the project without 3 quotes for every portion of that project. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would be, I guess, I don't know if we wanna make a motion or how we wanna do that, but I guess that would be the start is, let's get an RFP put together ASAP and
Put it
post
out
it,
there.
and get some proposals back, and get a project manager coming into play.
The other part of the procurement policy is if we have current vendors that we're using.
Correct.
So like our electrician and our plumber, they're already currently vendors that we use on a regular basis. So like electrical work and plumbing work, we wouldn't, because of the procurement policy, that wouldn't have to go out. But that's just one portion of the grand
Right.
scheme. You have to have the building to put electrical and plumbing in, so.
Steve?
I'm just gonna say that traditionally, you have to hand the project manager the answer to this, which way you're gonna go. It's not up to him to pick through for that. And then and then you also give him how much money he's gonna spend to get that done, the parameters of it. It's up to him to get the people to manage it, to get it under that price. That's what the project manager does, he doesn't do any of this other stuff. He can get involved with the procurement, and he gets involved with hiring of the subs, but he can be augmented by you guys, by say, yeah, these guys we want them to be on here, but that's basically what he does, and he rides herd over them and makes sure that not only are they gonna be there working and on time, but they're gonna be on the same budget that they answered to, and said what they were gonna charge for doing the work. That's what he does, and then he gets the job to come in at or below what your price is. That's his job. And then you have to give him the reins to say, do you accept change orders? What's the process for that? Do you bring the change orders to a group? Or do you bring it to one person? Or how do you do it? But that's what he's doing. So it's the project and the money involved at the top. That's what he has to do as a project manager.
How did it work for the last building? I wasn't involved, so.
Oh, it worked for the last building after we came up with a size and a layout. My son drew the plans for that. I took those plans and emailed them out to people that I knew, from a, concrete framework, I estimated the earthwork, there's a bunch of stuff that I estimated. But I had quotes for flooring, all the doors, hardware, painting, framing, finishes on the outside, roofing, siding, windows, a complete project. And then I put a contingency in at the end.
But it was
And
a
those
set-
numbers, I had bumped those numbers up because my neck was on the line.
So
And
would
would rather
that-
come in under what I said it would be rather than over.
Of course.
Because that's what I did for a long time, so
Did that
manage
meet,
projects.
did that meet or sidestep the 3 bid requirement of the town to do that, or is it not?
Well,
hard?
that's all we did was, that's as far as we went. There was
Okay.
then that would have been the next hurdle.
Okay,
And that was really never discussed. So at that point, standing at town meeting, knowing that, either, I just put my neck on the line for this $800,000 that we were gonna do this project for, which I'm pretty sure we would have done it. I know we would have.
right,
But if we had to turn around and rebid it all out, I couldn't guarantee that. I had those numbers, I had those commitments, but these are guys I've worked with for 25 years or
Right.
more, most of them. All reputable people,
I
doing
think-
not only commercial work, but high-end residential.
I think at least from my opinion, kind of the path forward would be, we'll finish up our amateur plans, if you will.
Yep.
Draw out what we're looking at for here and the fire and police building. Probably have your son draft them again,
And he's willing to do that.
and that's what we hand to the project
Yep,
manager,
he
when
and
we
I had
identify
that
that
conversation.
firm or individual.
We'll be sitting on a chairlift tomorrow together, so. And his question to me is, are all the dimensions on there? And I said, yeah, because I have the same paper at home.
Yep.
He said, as long as I don't have to go and remeasure the building, you can put together basically so that you have some plans that are able to be dissected.
That's kind of what, how I see us.
And I will say, I sat down with Tyler real quick, there was only one change that I saw for the police department side of the building, and that was just to take the Sally Port and build it off the gable end if feasible, for where like the forestry truck or ambulance is now.
The back,
The gable
the
is,
side bay.
the side bay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
hip roof.
Build it off of that hip roof, and then that way everything inside could get expanded a bit, because
hallways are pretty narrow.
the hallways are narrow, we could give it a little bit more room in our evidence room, which we would have had in the bigger structure out here. Just that way it would give us, that much more square footage to expand the size of not only the hallways, but the rooms, and everybody will have a little bit more space inside of
And
those 4 existing walls.
In our original plans too, we were putting a lot of extra stuff in the garage space too, so by getting the Sally Port out of that building, a couple of those things can go into the main building and.
It's a way to work it around a little
Yeah.
bit.
I was gonna say, so if we go down that path that Rick was describing, but that still doesn't meet what you're thinking the project manager's responsibilities would be, right? We'd be handing them, hey, make this for us, but we don't have any firm pricing on anything yet, or,
Project manager, it's all in the name.
right,
You hand him a project that you want done,
okay,
not an innocuous thing,
right,
a moving target. He can't manage a moving target. You have to hand him a project and give him, boundaries.
Yep.
Monetarily and whatever, and then let him manage it. That's what he has to do, but he can't be part of the process of putting it together.
The
That's
design.
like crossing over.
Well, so to add to what you're saying, Steve, part of him putting it together, he is part of the process, because that's cost driven. And even though, when you get pricing back and somebody says, if you did this and did that, it may end up being a design change that's more cost effective to do. So it's a more putting minds together and professionals together to get the best bang for our buck. So if let's say we got $1 million budget to work with to pull this off, and there's ways to pull out money for this or that will be brought back to the design this committee. The project managers bring that back and said, well, I've got some guys that say that if we did this and did that, we can save you some money. Are you willing to do that? Reconfigure something, whether it's through HVAC, heating, lighting, or whatever, or even like door hardware, because I know you wanna use special hardware. That's something that the town would be providing. So it's a working relationship between everybody, all the time.
Right, but the point is, Mike, he can get the prices in and then submit them to say to the Board of Selectmen, say, here's what we got here. Do you agree, is this gonna fit under the canopy all right, and then offer changes? But once everything is okay, then he runs off and manages everything that goes on within that project. But what I'm saying is he can't be part of deciding what's gonna be here and what's gonna be there, you know, that part of it, that, he has to be handed that, and said,
Oh, yeah, no doubt, you get
this
a
is
plan,
what you're doing.
you get a plan,
Yeah,
but it's only a plan.
So our agenda moving
you
forward,
can't be moving.
I think would be, you know, our amateur plans, I'm gonna call them for lack of a better way to put it.
Yep, get them on paper.
We get these done for the next meeting.
Yep.
We have the discussion like Rose was talking about, which way are we going? We pick it and be done with it. And then from there, once we know which direction we're going, we get the professional plans done. And then we have the project manager coming in at that point, we hand them the professional plans and say, here it is, this is our project.
Yep.
Right.
So I think that's kind of the agenda of
Lights out.
tasks, if you will.
You know, looking at the cost of everything as we've kinda gone through this project, looking at different sized buildings, I think this is gonna be the more cost effective way to go.
Renovating.
Renovating the existing 4 walls there. And then, you know, a garage is gonna be what it's gonna be, it's not like you have to. A lot of what the money that was coming out of putting up the big building was the fabrication of the inside, all the walls, sheetrock, drywall, all that, you know?
Right,
Alright,
You're not gonna have that with a garage space.
Thank you.
But I think we're gonna get a little bit
That's why we
better
can't get
of
on
a,
anyway, so we can't do anything.
You
as
got
a
what?
shape
Oh,
as far as the building goes.
is it possible for you guys to work on this and get digital copies to everyone before the next meeting?
Well, which one you finalize? This one or that one?
So so the reason there's two different of the garage style there is, and this was, well, again, we're going back about a year and a half now. Excuse me. So, and this will come back to things that you said back, if you look at one, and one says, basically, the fire trucks will be exiting out the gable end. So, the wide length of that building is 80 feet. So an 80-foot truss going down the road versus a 40? I can't remember the other side dimension. 80-foot truss going down the road is gonna be more expensive than a 40-foot truss going down the road.
and the other thing too, these drawings are from
You can give me over.
the very first project we ever
Right.
did, we haven't made any modifications to them, and we've already, in discussions, changed a lot of things, so. Don't take these as what we're proposing, this is just our first drawing that we had done a while back.
Right.
What's the length
Because
of
you're
the
not
building?
gonna,
The long way is 80.
So that's a 60 by 80 footprint that you're looking at.
right.
And again,
Now,
there's no saying that that's what we're gonna come to the next meeting with for plans, because we've gotta redraw that whole thing out.
Right, 'cause
So if I can weigh in on all of this, there's benefits, like what Tyler said, and I put a lot of thought into this too, is because of relocation and where everybody is currently right now. If there was a renovation to the existing firehouse for PD and fire and a new apparatus building, and then something here, this could be phased, and if I remember, we had talked about this, as your bond, we can spread that out over a couple of year time frame, correct? 5 years, that's even better, but not that we need that much time. Because, and also to your point, coming out of the gable end, when I dug test pits out there and I have those logged, you know, with the elevation, I spent a bit of time out there doing that. That building and the landscape warrants that ridge line sort of parallel with 153, with the paved area is where the Chuckalucks are now. That building sitting there, because the leach field runs out in that direction, that whole area needs to be cleaned up because it's softer than a big turd in the springtime, is, you know about trying to plow out there and have to put stone in it, that's all gotta be fixed. So we can correct a lot of the problems that are there now by putting a building coming out of the gable end 60 by 80. So I know right now on your plans, you've got a lot of walls built out in there, but that doesn't have to happen right away. Get the building up, get the trucks out of there, PD is still here, you can function out of that existing building, you can put something in there to make sure that you can function as a fire department, then go in and renovate that existing space. And that could even be done in cold weather, because, well, guess what, we got heat, we got lights, we got water.
No, we can live
We're in
out
a-
of the
we're in a-
apparatus
Other than
building
the
while we-
addition for the Sally Port, which I think is a really good thing, cause that's the worst part of it all. We just have to intercept the existing
Right.
force main and reroute it around there to the, between the tank and the leach field. That's an easy do. You know, you can then renovate that space. Once that space is renovated, then PD moves out and then something can happen here the following year. You know, we're gonna try to avoid as many winter conditions as we can with open construction, with the exception of renovation, because that's pretty easy to do.
I'll tell you, that does alleviate the where are we gonna put evidence, where are we gonna store this, that, and the other thing too. Move it once.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
And I'll tell you that, the evidence work, like, we have to log it every time it comes out. If we go to a new place, it has to log back in.
So
I got questions.
at the end of the day, stop looking at these drawings and don't ask questions about these drawings because these are not what we're proposing.
I agree with you,
Okay,
but
I
I'm
just
just,
wanna, I didn't really wanna hand them out for that point.
but,
can I,
yeah,
Sallyport, I
Yeah.
mean, I see all this on, where the apparatus is gonna be, I mean, I'm going with it. I mean, you have the existing fire station, you got all these rooms and everything else, you got the police department and everything else, and you're adding additional rooms here, bathrooms and showers and everything
No,
else.
that's not
I
gonna
can tell you,
happen.
taxpayers aren't gonna go for that.
That's what I just said.
It's
I
not
know,
gonna
I know,
happen.
I know.
It's been,
I'm looking at taking the Sallyport, his car, if we
This
can
one.
make a little different, section, cause it's gotta be enclosed, right, it's gotta be secure.
Correct.
Add that into your, this portion of it,
That's our plan.
okay.
That's our plan. That's why I didn't wanna hand these out because
Put the
You
sound
get
port into
fixated.
the apparatus
into
building?
the,
I'll tell you why I don't like that
No, I
idea.
don't think that'll work.
And I'll
Why,
tell you,
because
I'll tell
it's
you
a
why.
secure room,
It's a secure room, but it can't have access for many of them.
so that's okay, have
So
an outside,
they would have to be a completely
Have to be
blocked off area
outside.
for
yeah,
us.
have an outside door, you're gonna have an outside door anyhow for it.
it'll be part of the garage, but it'll be,
How many times are you gonna use it?
We've done, I mean, it depends.
How many times have you used it?
we don't
We
have
don't
one.
have one.
Okay,
So
but
like
where's
right
it go
now,
now?
we have to go to tow
Where's-
yards.
Okay, so send it to the tow yard, why put this additional expense into it?
Oh, I don't
Because
think,
it not only puts out the tow businesses, like, for Whiting's, up until when they had their new building, if Whiting seized the car for us, it took up their entire garage space until we got a warrant back, which could be anywhere from 24 to 72 hours.
So who pays for that?
The person that owns the vehicle.
if and when they're prosecuted, but if I may add, I don't want this to die on the hill because of the expense of a garage.
But,
Just let me finish,
Okay.
to this building. And I will say that historically, we didn't have a canine. So now we have a canine. He has a suspicion, but he has to have probable cause. So he may be able to arrest the individual, seek a warrant for searching the vehicle. You can't go in the vehicle, but you can move it, and you stick it in our Sallyport. While it gets
When these
searched.
vehicles are seized, the doors are taped shut, you can't get in and touch it.
I
And then
just
you
see,
get that- then
I
you
just
get
see a
that
lot of
one.
room in this place, this area,
Yeah.
versus adding us.
Part of the other reason
That's all
why
it is.
I'm advocating so much for a Sallyport is to eliminate the Connex, is to build space for us to have, shelves for all of our file storage and place that we
You're
can
gonna
put
have a
all
lot
that.
more room in this building than you had in this one,
And I get it, I'm just sure,
the back here.
No, what you're pointing, well, this
Well,
is,
it's
this is
training
being,
room, I mean, it's,
this is being shared with the fire department.
right, but it's, what's
Right.
the dimension of this building? Well,
the existing
That's
fire
the
station is 40 by
existing.
80. We don't know what the garage space is gonna be because we haven't drawn it yet.
So you're gonna have 40 by 40 building,
45, right,
yes.
approximately,
and they're
right?
gonna have
the
a
garage?
40 by 40.
No, for
No,
police
for the,
and-
for the
Oh, yeah,
police,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so it'll be 40 by 40 on both sides.
If you take the Sallyport out,
Effectively, yeah.
if you
Take the
take the car,
Sallyport out and stick it in here,
Right.
it's got plenty of room,
So.
because none of this is gonna
I'm just
be
throwing it
there.
out
I'm
there.
trying to get the better of both worlds here for you. If you take the Sallyport, it's 12 to 26. Even if you took half of that and pushed half of it out, it still gives him his Sallyport. It's not a lot of dollars. That's a crappy area out there.
That's
And
what
then it
that
gives it a
little-
little more room inside. Now, I would advocate that in the apparatus building, we just build a big open space. You don't have to worry about putting anything else in it. Yes, eventually, there could be a demising wall, have a couple bake sales or something. put that demising wall up. No, I'm serious.
Right, I hear you.
Because, you know, I don't,
You should
with
find
this, you don't
yeah.
really need all the other stuff that's in that standalone building, because now you've got this. There's future use for that, because down the road, okay, we're gonna do a project that's gonna cost $60,000, and it gets voted on 3 or 4 years down the road, and it's done.
Unsigned fund balance or something like
Right,
that.
right, so that, and it goes back to, you know, the way you guys did Pine River Road, you know, some money came in, you were able to get that second phase done, you got, things
FEMA.
happen. So we gotta think positively about that, but what we're doing is we're building for 50 years down the road. So if we leave this apparatus building currently the way it is, within 50 years or less, it's gonna need some work. And now we just got a big, you know, spent a pile of money, and now we still got a pink elephant here to deal with. So that's the only reason I'm advocating for it. Go ahead.
Mike, I have a quick question. So this apparatus building, I was under the impression it would be smaller than the 60 by 80 because you don't need a 60 by 80, correct? Or do
It
you
will
need?
be, it will be.
You will still need the 60 by 80 out there?
No, it will be smaller, yes.
Oh, right, that's what I'm saying. So you figure all of this is not gonna be there. We're gonna take all of that out.
And we got
Obviously.
together with intentions of.
Stop,
Oh, sorry,
stop,
sorry.
stop. Please. We need to start, the reason why we're even here is because this kept happening. I'm sorry,
No,
but I
it's
call a
true.
spade a
You're
spade.
right.
Okay?
You're right.
We didn't want to your point, I'm sorry, we didn't wanna put the drawings out there. Okay, so why did we do that? I don't wanna look at them. We're never going to build
That,
garage doors with fire apparatus coming out where the snow and ice is coming off the roof. Anybody that does that in the state of New Hampshire or anywhere where they get snow should be kicked in the face. So I'm certainly not gonna be part of that. What Lee drew for dimensions for an apparatus bay was what size?
You didn't draw it.
We never drew it.
We never drew
We never
this.
drew
Okay.
it.
we never do that at all.
So, before we move forward, we're talking about, we're doing a Sally Port here, we're not having a Sally Port, before we do anything. We as a group need to agree, we're putting a 40 by 40 and at the fire station for an apparatus bay and renovating, and we're putting a this here. So that we can take those down and say, okay, we're gonna start over until we got plans. I can't keep kicking, because
That's-
I'm gonna
and
be
that's where
out,
he was
I'm gonna
going,
be
is-
out.
We
Right.
need to stop looking at these pieces of paper, we shouldn't have handed them out, that's the end all be all. Let
But you
us
should
draw
have had
it
the
and come back.
papers. Was
We
it
agree
stated
we need to
last-
renovate the current fire station.
But
We
we-
all agree on that.
Yes.
Right,
Show of hands, please.
so that's this.
Okay, we agree we need how many square feet or X by X for an apparatus bay?
We don't know yet, I don't think.
How do we not
How do
know?
we not know? We
We know
should
how
know.
many fire trucks we have.
We should know.
What do we currently have? What is our current building dimensions?
40 by 80.
40 by 80.
So let's say
Three
we're
bays.
gonna draw a 40 by 40 apparatus
Okay,
garage.
40 by 40, okay.
Got it. We'll come back with
Okay.
that. If for some reason that doesn't work out,
Perfect.
maybe we'll come with a plan B as well. But I don't see why we can't draw what
40
we
by
need and do a
40,
40 by
right.
We're just, I mean, to Mike's point about future add-on
Yes.
fundraisers and delineating walls and stuff like that, I agree with that, I'm all for that.
100%.
Right now, we just need a garage, we need an apparatus bay.
100%.
Right.
So we have a 40 by 80 building currently where we tuck stuff in,
Right.
right? But it has an office, it has bathrooms, it has a quasi kitchen, it has a
Right.
quasi training space, you pull this out to do this, whatever. So minus all of that,
40 by 40 should give us plenty of room.
so we are renovating a 40 by 80 fire station. We are building a 40 by 40 apparatus bay.
Apparatus, correct.
And we are building a, what, out here?
Minus
30 by 40?
What do you think?
40 by
Minus,
40?
minus the police
I don't
station,
know.
minus the
I
police,
can't think beyond that.
So what were we
what was it?
building?
So we're gonna have enough money to do it.
It
That's the
was
whole
30
thing.
by 60 is what we had, so take off 30 feet.
So take up-
by 60. So it'll be 30 by 60.
Right, but are we going to,
You could,
yeah, I know,
Square it
but
up.
30 by 60, are we going to,
Or you can,
I mean,
go the other way.
it's still gotta be this, it's still gotta meet certain amount of needs.
Right.
So we still have to have bathrooms. So we've
Right.
already determined, right, so we're axing that, we've already determined that we're minimizing our space for our meetings, whatever.
So
And I
like-
think if the minutes even reflect this, which they should, at our last meeting, we still said that this right here gives us plenty, it meets our future
Correct.
growth. Because it meets the, the 30/60 is this, it gives us a 15% growth in population for the unforeseen future for voting purposes and that sort of thing. And could even worst case scenario have town meeting, whatever. So we know we have a 40/80 that needs to be renoed, a 40/40 apparatus bay, and a 30/40 addition onto this building
30 by
or
60.
freestanding.
30 by
30/60. Okay, do we all agree on that?
Correct.
My only question,
Oh, shit.
Nope.
No, we
future
do.
growth.
Great.
I know we're not
Future growth.
using these drawings, but how many bays do you need? Guess, are we gonna have the same piece of, number of equipment that we have today 20 years from now?
So you're saying 2 versus 3 bays?
Well, I don't know, this one
I'm gonna
shows
say
three. I'm gonna
3
ask you.
to 4, 3 to 4.
Right, so
Until
this,
I can start drawing and see it, I can't.
and that's where I was getting,
Yeah.
is this gonna be enough bays to house what we have today and what we think we might have? 15
Just remember, we have another fire station too,
Yes, we do.
Okay,
that we currently still don't use to its
okay,
fullest capacity.
that's my question.
So,
Yes,
40/80 reno, 40/40 apparatus bay,
30.
30/60.
Meeting room,
Alright,
that's it.
Okay,
So we will come back to the next meeting with the drawings that you can actually look at and dissect.
Right.
Ignore these.
pet peeve of mine, this is just me, I'm 1/3 of the board of selectmen. This adds up really fast.
yeah.
Can we stop doing this? This adds up really fast. This is a lot of paper.
On the minutes?
Well, we had the minutes,
He's got two.
I have
agendas.
agendas, I have two agendas for this meeting, it's like, I don't need an agenda, we're already here, we kinda don't follow that anyway, do we?
I do. You don't have minutes?
Yeah, somewhere.
Like, give her a break, will you?
Well, I'm just saying, that's a lot of paper.
We can do it digitally.
If we do, I send
We
out
go
all
through-
of this stuff digitally.
Like the budget process, it's
It's
like,
all sent out digitally
and
as
that's
well.
not me, don't do, that's what I'm saying, I'm
I send everything
1/3.
out digitally.
Go with the digital.
But I have been. They
Yeah.
get digital, and then we get, when we get, to read.
Yeah, I read the digital minutes and that's all I need.
That's what I do.
Worst case scenario moving forward, we can put it on the screen.
And to the point where I said, when we
Sure.
had this, and these guys will tell you, like our agenda for our selectmen's meetings, I'm like, how come we don't put that up
Put it on
there?
the screen.
Put it on the screen, instead of, putting it on the table where, I don't think anybody picked.
I'll make a note.
Yes,
Again, I'm just 1/3, I'm not
Warren
trying
uses
to, make you guys pay numbers, tell me mine. Cause that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a ream of paper for this one meeting.
So,
Not quite.
time frame to get things drawn, Lee's busy,
Yes.
so anything that you can get to him? What?
Well, I think we need to
You just
draw
said you're
the,
gonna be on a chairlift with it.
Yeah, well, I'm just, I know how far out, he's out into April,
I'm kidding.
and then things, he needs something in, for, well before March.
I think we're, at this point, we have our dimensions, we need to draw them, we will have them prior
Email.
to the next meeting. I think we have to meet and approve the drawings before we send them to Lee. That's my opinion, I just
Okay.
don't, cause I don't wanna play the game of, here's this revision, oh, nope, change all this stuff,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Once he does it, it's done.
Right.
That's just, it's like pushing the button, talking to your attorney.
Right.
The clock starts ticking, so, what is that?
That's Luke.
That's Luke.
He's the town
He's
master.
calming everybody.
I forgot you had him.
I don't know, what'd you do, pull it out of your pocket or?
No, he was
He's
by the
so
garbage can.
quiet. He is so quiet.
Glad you reminded me.
All it's gonna do is take a day for you and me and you to sit down. That's all it's gonna take. We tried today, but we all.
I think you guys are, you're damn
And
close,
if you
so,
can get it even
and think
before
about,
that, send out to
doors,
everybody.
I mean, I came down
windows for those out of
before
the
that.
pump rooms, cause those are gonna be cut through the
Came down
block.
before that.
So we
I know you did.
have
And then
all that
I
stuff.
talked to you and I made changes and he said, oh, no, we're good.
Everybody good?
Or you can
Right, we need
send
the
them out
information next
digitally.
Next meeting, you'll have drawings.
Yes.
Okay, and if you can,
Okay.
send them out
I can do
digitally
that.
also.
I can absolutely do that.
Because
We'll
then-
send them out ahead of time.
So that, yeah, with dimensions,
Yep.
because this way, in case somebody says something or
So-
sees something prior to the meeting,
Yeah, yeah, even if you brought
it can be dealt with prior.
Schedule this always for this, all the very tight timeline.
Do we wanna send out an RFP
This
for a project manager now
We gotta fix the
to
light.
get them in?
because then
So they can have.
Oh, it didn't, wait till next meeting.
Wait until the next meeting?
It's not
Okay.
Can I just-
Okay.
yeah.
Chris wants to say something.
You know how I know that?
Yes, I'm sorry, Chris.
I need my cell phone.
Add one more thing,
Okay, wait, one more thing.
open up for conversation, thought
This
process,
is my big.
which I touched upon earlier when we
The
were
rest of it, I'll let
starting our selectmen's meeting.
Uh-huh,
So the conversations about meeting the town's warrant article from 2009 or 1994, updated in 2014, I think it was approximately. The procurement policy and need for bidding and things like that, so. We talked about, and it's not necessarily too late, yes, we're in the, the witching hour, whatever, but. I just want everybody's opinion, should we revisit and potentially have a warrant article where we change that? That might have worked, and I get the intent, and I think we still will need to follow the intent of what it was back in the day, whereas you don't just, there's no nepotism, and you're not just settling, and you're not hiring your friend, and, foregoing getting fair pricing and stuff like that. But one of the problems is created, let's just take, Stevens Road, the box culvert, Mitchie Corp, I remembered it this time. Mitchie Corp does box culverts.
Yep.
So, former selectmen sued the current board of selectmen at that time when that went out because they didn't follow that warrant article, because they didn't put ads in the paper, they solicited bids. Well, there's only so many people that do that kind of work. But they got bids, they got prices when they did put it in the paper from people that were gonna buy the box culvert from Mitchie Corp. So to your point about marking stuff up earlier, they went direct and said, we'll buy it from you. And just, you deliver it and then our contractor will stick it in. It saved us half, and it was $48,000 for the culvert, it would have been $100,000 if they'd followed that, so they didn't. Ultimately, the judge said the intent was there. But the point I'm getting at is, for us to put it in a publication, a newspaper, to follow that warrant article.
Right.
It's the Conway Daily Sun, and it's the Granite State News, Carroll County Independent.
correct.
Most of this work is not done by anybody that gets that free publication and picks it up at Boyle's or Abbott's or Kevin's Discount. They just, dirt work and that sort of thing, absolutely. You got GW Brooks, you got, LA Drew, you got
Dawson.
that maybe, but some of these things, it just doesn't meet it, so you kinda have to solicit it.
You do, I'll use doors for instance. Hollow metal frames, solid core doors, hardware. You don't wanna grab somebody that's just gonna buy it off the guy that could be supplying, installing and warranty is the bigger part of that. So like when I solicited the door, I went right to Lang Door and dealt with Lang Door, what's it, who I've done work with commercially. Yeah, we can get this, Mike, we can get this for you, and we'll give you a price to install it. I said, thank you, cause then I know it's gonna be done right. And it's gonna be stood behind. So, right, so yeah, you can go, and somebody else can go buy the doors, and you get somebody putting them in, and there's a problem, and it's always a problem. And in commercial work, those doors are one of the biggest things they always get problems with, because somebody comes in and hangs some stupid door, doesn't know what they're doing, or hardwares it incorrectly. So you hire people that know what they're doing.
And they may not be in there, take the roof, for example.
Yeah.
We could potentially have that whole thing thrown out, because we're budgeting, we're proposing in the budget, based on a quote that you were
Yeah.
good enough to get us, often somebody that didn't
Yeah, was
answer
solicited.
to an
Right,
RFP.
right.
Right,
They were solicited.
yeah,
Right,
So one could argue that we didn't follow the intent of that warrant article, and I may be, shooting myself in the foot right now.
but you haven't committed to that quote,
We haven't yet.
you've got the dollar amount, but so at that point, you've got a dollar amount, and hopefully you put a little more in because things have gone up.
We did.
Yeah, I'm sure you have, and so then you can put it out to 3 bids, and you certainly can contact, I don't know if it's okay for you to contact, maybe not, but
That's
it's okay
what-
for me to contact.
That's the point
And
of-
say, respond to
Right.
this, and somebody else respond to that.
Right,
Right, so
Need an
the way,
advocate.
yeah, the way the warrant article is written, we have to publish it
Yeah.
in 3 local or multiple local
Yeah, local
publications.
Publications, sure.
And get the bids, not solicit them.
Yeah.
So my question, and the point I bring up, is asking everybody in this room's opinion of whether or not we should, before the final hour, should we be entertaining redoing that warrant article once again?
I think you know as well as I do, that will go over like a fart in church with certain people in certain parts of town.
Well, the certain
Change
people,
that,
well,
I think
Yeah.
you're right.
yeah, cause they're gonna wanna hold.
I mean,
you
there's no
to
problem
account.
soliciting quotes.
yes, there is. The town got sued already for that.
Yeah,
I mean, if you put the bid out, basically, you can talk to people, and say, put a quote in.
But they're not,
Right.
it sounds like,
But,
But you still have
but the
to
point
have
is
it
we're going to
advertised.
pay, it's $180 to run for 10 days for an ad in the Conway Daily Sun.
that's ridiculous.
It is.
So we're gonna pay $180 to put an ad in the paper
To tell
that
people.
nobody's gonna see.
Right,
so can we, I agree, we should modify, maybe an electronic version on the town webpage suffices for
But
notifications.
even that, I mean, it's,
How many people check the town website?
nobody looks
As
at
many
the
as
town
read the
website.
newspapers.
so what we currently do
Dodger
is this, it's contractor, I know.
You got a site,
So we have a site that I actually brought forward, and it's, you know, it's what all the paving companies, so like, all the bosses and foremans and stuff like that, they go in their office in the morning and they click on this one website, construction summary,
Yeah, I
thank you.
used to bid off the construction summary all the
So
time.
we're using construction summary.
Yep.
But that's
Yep.
soliciting.
Well, you
Still
put it out, so
soliciting.
if you have a project, it's listed on the construction summary. And then, that's how, when I was bidding commercial work, I based it out of use the construction summary all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something that came up on the summary.
it's just
that
like a
day,
newspaper.
And I, go to the bid meeting, buy the plans and
Yeah.
do this and that, and that's how, so if I'm the project manager, all right, I get the job, that's what I'm gonna do, I wouldn't go in the construction summary, but I would solicit everybody that I know. And I might get a couple of bids on framing, I may only get one on this and one on that, cause I know they can do it for less than anybody else, I already know this shit. And I would use our town contractors for electrical, cause you get a great electrical contractor, you get a good mechanical guy, because he was very knowledgeable, the last project I looked at, gave me a pile of good ideas and saved us money, I would use those guys, hands down. You wanna keep those people intact. So it's self-serving, because you got things, you need them all the time, so certain people you use, and then you bring others in.
So we don't need to revisit the warrant article.
I don't know, I think
I don't think
if you're going out for bid, so if you're gonna bid to try to find a project manager,
Yeah.
you've done that. Done, and it's their project, like Steve said, it's their project. And they'll bring all the numbers in together, and they're gonna put a team together to do this. Now, it may not even be the same, so it's really simple, with the steel building, you're gonna deal with earthwork, the concrete contractor, and the steel building company. That's pretty simple, then you're gonna get an electrician in there, and an HVAC guy in there, a plumber. And you're basically in the overhead doors, which I'd use overhead door options, who does the fire, but I've worked with them for a long, long time. Now his son owns it, so those are people I can count on. If I call up and say, hey, Nick, you gotta get out here, the door's broken, they'll be right there and fix it. And treat you right, and warranty it, it's all about warranty. Now, Lawrence brought that up at the very beginning, we started, even last year, who's gonna warranty this project? Well, by state law, every contractor involved is reliable for 1 year in the state of New Hampshire. But you want that relationship to go beyond 1 year. So if Lang Door is installing all those doors and hardwiring those doors, I know Bud Lang will come back in here and 2 years from now and say, oh yeah, that was a bad hinge or something, here's another hinge, we'll put it on for you. I had him do it in the past. It's about building relationships and a good team. And everybody's gonna say, well, is that the
Right.
cheapest, is that the cheapest? Yeah, I can get some schmuck down the road to do it for less money, but then where is the guy? Number one, number two, what are you using for materials, and so we'll have, as a PM, we'd also have a little bit of specification work that goes along with it. If I was doing that, I would write the spec for it. Or recommend the spec, look, I recommend we do this or do that, and if there's a new product out, we should look at it.
Right,
So, it's team, it's assembling a team. And
Right.
that'll save you the most amount of money. You get a GC, you're gonna pay their markup, everybody else's markup, and it's
Right.
gonna go right back to, like you said, with the box culvert. You could have bought it direct, you know, and
Yeah.
head home and bring a crane down and set it, or pay another 30% on top.
That's why we got an HTH, Historical Town Hall, we got rid of the general contractor.
What's that?
We got rid of a general
You
contractor,
got rid of the general contractor? Oh, yeah, yes.
you know what I'm talking
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll use people that, you know, can go in and do the work,
about? Save a lot of money,
save a lot of money.
but there's different cases, I mean, for this project, I would say you need general contractor.
Yep. Yeah, and I see this thing going, you know, more than a year, by
Right,
all means, because of being able to phase it.
Mhm.
It would, if you could make it somewhat seamless, certainly the first thing is chuck locks down, earthwork, put up the building, move the trucks out, they can function, Tyler's still right where he is, he hasn't gone anywhere. Get that next section done,
and
then everybody can
that,
move, and then
right.
it leaves this open. And then maybe maybe somebody may have an epiphany along the way that saves us some more money,
True,
gives us a little more time.
yeah,
But we still need a budget, rock solid budget, and with room for inflation, because things are still going up, it's a
No epiphanies.
crazy market, no,
He wasn't talking about you. He said somebody may, not you.
you having an epiphany, Tyler?
No, I don't have any,
Obviously, you don't.
not me.
okay, anything else that we need to discuss or bring up or
Those plans are
suggest? Getting the
it's
plans
first and
is the-
foremost,
right.
and
So you
I'll
guys have to
press
work
leave
on
Yeah,
that,
we're gonna hog tie Tyler to a chair for a day.
uh-oh,
I was saying, unless you're gonna be in my
if you need him
house,
to come
it's
sit down with you, you know, I'm sure he can come down, come to the fire station and sit down with you and bring his computer and, you know, transfer everything over.
And I
Even if
don't-
we can connect with him on a Zoom call or something too,
true,
and just share the screen, like we
Yep.
can get him from his office, like in a lunch
Yep.
break or something.
and I don't think with the size of these buildings that there's a sprinkler issue, except for
The only one is the
bunkhouse.
was it our system for the bunk rooms.
Right,
So
but
we have to
nothing
have a
else will-
second means of egress by having a
Right.
5 square feet of window,
Mm-hmm.
which is a casement, it's the easiest, cheapest way to do that. Double hungs really, you need a huge thing to
Right.
try to get 5 square feet.
so the bunk rooms will be into the existing fire station?
correct.
Right,
So that's a matter of cutting through some concrete block and
right,
putting a window buck in and stuff some insulation back in there and caulk it and
right,
put windows in.
okay. So we know what direction we're going, we know what our timeline is. I'll entertain if there's nothing else to discuss, nothing, no other questions, yes, Mike?
So we still have a number from Patco
Correct,
that we wanna respect. And,
Correct.
you know, Guy, you put a lot of
Yes.
time and effort into that, so I don't.
Yes, he did.
It's not fair to lose sight of that, I mean, Lisa's not here to speak to that. But there's a gentleman that, you know, put a lot, you know
Yes.
what it is, it's a lot of time and effort to
Yes.
chase and do estimating work. And then be able to put it all on a spreadsheet,
right,
that's a lot it's a lot of work.
So,
Phone calls,
And
a
we
lot
do
of back
have
and
that,
forth, a lot of emails, a lot of paper,
so the steel building is still viable for,
absolutely.
yeah, for the
apparatus.
apparatus,
Yeah,
sure,
we had a much bigger building and he had 20-foot sidewalls, we don't need 20-foot sidewalls to put 12-foot trucks in.
right,
Especially coming in on the gable end of a building, as you well know, alright, you know, if we've got 12-foot sidewalls, we can get probably a 14-foot header height in there. Usually those big doors are 12 by 14s, 12, 14, and then you got plenty of room with jack shaft operators.
Right.
So those operators are about a little over $3,000 a piece, and the doors, you know, they're close to that as well.
what about the building back here?
I don't see why that couldn't.
I
I would
you know,
guess, yeah.
you
Just
you
no open
may be able to do it with a Lester building, did they ever get back?
They never got back to me.
Okay, so there's.
He did say that he would have an estimate for the 2 meetings ago, but.
Yeah,
that's
I
when
know, I
he-
remember that.
Right, and then,
And then we had the storm, we had all of that.
oh, no, we had this went away. So, the
Right,
buildings was changing, so,
Oh,
that next meeting, so,
yeah, but I was still waiting for him, he didn't know that it was
Yes, he
gonna
did.
change.
oh, yes, he did.
A month ago?
We're not talking a month ago, so it was,
Couple
well, I mean,
weeks.
yes, yeah,
It was-
almost a month ago.
A month ago,
Was
'cause-
when we started saying, okay, we're not gonna
Go this route.
go this route, and we started talking about a building change. That was 3 weeks ago or better. That was a while ago.
So you
That was
made
a minute
him, somebody made him aware of that.
ago. Oh, I talked to him,
Yeah,
I talked to him
okay.
all the
Yeah, no, you
time,
can be fair and
so.
honest. Yep, no, I have no sense wasting time.
Cause, 1/6 was when he was supposed to have
Well,
the,
Today's the 20th, so
But, yeah.
it's 3 weeks ago.
So that's back to 30 by 60, whether it's added onto this or standalone.
right,
It would be, we already have one wall. When the septic's pretty
Right.
goddamn close. No matter what, if we could add on to this, we already have a fire rated wall here.
Were there any code issues? Wasn't that one of the?
Well,
criticisms?
that's a question, see, that's another person we need on board. Now, Lisa off said that they have an architect guy or somebody that does code
Right.
review that would
Right.
throw his hat in the ring and help the town of Effingham.
right,
He fell in line right between the price that Sean Bergeron had given me, between $1,200 and $2,000, he hit 1,500 right in the middle. Then that's good, but somebody should say, yeah, would like to be able to use you, get these plans done, let that person review them. Yeah, that's a little more expense, but that's why we have the money that we put in last town meeting for professional services.
So we need 50,000.
It's another piece of the puzzle, another per player that we need to be able to count on to say, yes, you can do this and yes, you can't, no, you can't do that.
and get an answer.
And get an answer right off, a little bit of review time, boom, done. I
Right,
mean, we're feeling that we just do we're okay with a residential sprinkler system, which can be done in PVC pipe with PEX tubing for the bunk rooms. And it can be done off that well, we'll need some sort of water reservoir.
Right.
So we need a space for that in that building. Which warrants pushing that Sally Port out because they're gonna need some room for that. And they're not big, but it's 400-gallon water bottle, they may be more now, I don't know, but that's what I've done in the past. That's what Lisa did at her house,
right,
which was relatively recent. So I think that if you could talk to Lisa somehow, contact her and find out if you can get that person's name and get some sort of commitment. Because once
Right.
these plans are done, it'd be good to just
Send
have a
right.
review.
right,
I really think we should, and it's, I mean, we all showed a sign of support for a 30 by 60 building here.
Yep.
I still hold that true, but I think it should be, if we're going that route with just a meeting room, it should be attached to this. To your point, then we're just buying 3 walls and a roof, we're not buying 4 walls and a roof.
Makes it easier to tie
Yeah.
the septic in without getting busted on that either.
So what kind of construction method are you gonna use in it?
And I think,
I think we need to kind of shake out and see how much money we have, do this and see what we've got for a budget. And then obviously try to design this as economically as possible. Right now, we're a block building with brick veneer. Yeah, that's expensive construction, but the roof construction isn't a whole lot because it's bar joist. Again, I spoke to this and I'll speak to it again, is that if we could drain to the inside, we don't have to worry about sheet drainage off the exterior because now we're matching the slab. Ideally, if this building was picked up a foot, we could do a little more sheet drainage because it's flat in a pancake out there. So if we can control our drainage into a drainage ring like is already out here, out there, then that would be ideal. We don't have any gutters to contend with, this roof would be redone. Or maybe this roof gets held off until that's done.
that's what I was just gonna say.
Or, you leave the parapet up and you just start again and go, you gotta
Right.
flash it, waterproof it,
Get it done and then just,
and you just keep right on going. I mean, we could do a pitched roof off of this side, I would probably, we'd have to go this way, this would be the ridge. And sheet, drain it off either side, but now we got people coming in, except on the gable, you're coming in, now we have to have some sort of protection or door.
yeah.
Goes back to the snow sliding off, like Chris said, but, Alton Fire Department's on the eve end. It's not on the gable, I drive by a lot.
even under,
Yeah, there's a lot of them, Chris, that are out there that are,
all the years plowing driveways and stuff like that, and it's like,
backing up.
do you realize we have 4 seasons here? Who's building this house, who's designing these houses?
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
Hey, you see the new houses with, it's just wide.
or, big retaining walls going right up to the garage door on
Yeah.
both sides, it's like, how do you want me to remove it? No.
Right, oh yeah, and then it just cheeses up overnight,
Yeah.
and you drop the blade, and whoop.
They're like, oh, just.
Can't pull it back.
You can't pull it back, you're riding over it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they go, how come it's not cleaned off?
My house is built like that, when it was built back in the early 1900s, all the snow falls right in front of my garage. Love it.
So we have the opportunity not to make that mistake, so, and
Well, that's a good
that
thing.
site lends itself
Nobody
to
was
running
pulling out
parallel to
garage,
153. So things we
got
need
it
to
now
consider.
Okay.
Station.
Enough said.
All right, I'll
Put my
entertain a
rack-
motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah. Who's second? You? Okay, we've
Thanks for being
adjourned at
patient,
7:12.
everybody.
12.
You are in charge of that?